Voice of the People, 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
Hello, Nigeria. It's another exciting episode of the Issues and Voice of the People television, where we bring you the most important and pressing issues shaping our nation today. I am your host, Jerry Apeliohan. Today on the Issues, we turn the spotlight on Nigeria's bumpy road to the 2027 general elections, where power, policy, and public opinion are on a direct collision course. The latest, a fierce national debate over the federal government's decision to pump 2.9 trillion naira into infrastructure projects in Lagos State, defended by presidential aide Daniel Bwala, who described Lagos as Nigeria's commercial capital and controversially referred to it as a no man's land. His comments have sparked outrage, not just in the north, where leaders accuse the Tinubu government of regional bias, but also among Yoruba stakeholders in the southwest who reject the erasure of Lagos' indigenous identity. Meanwhile, President Tinubu maintains that his reforms are stabilizing the economy and restoring Nigeria's global reputation. And as over 2.5 million Nigerians registered online in just 2 weeks, one thing is clear: the citizens are watching and they are ready to act. It is a season of promises, pressure, and political reckoning, and we are here to break it all down. Stay tuned. After the short break, we'll dig deeper into this topic some more. Don't go away. Welcome back. Let's dive straight into today's discussion. The Tinubu administration is once again under the microscope, this time over a staggering 2.9 trillion naira in infrastructure spending, almost exclusively concentrated in Lagos State. Defending the move, presidential aide Daniel Bwala described Lagos as Nigeria's commercial nerve center, likening it to New York, London, and Paris. He went even further, calling Lagos a no man's land, arguing that its cosmopolitan nature makes it deserving of federal priority. But Bwala's remarks have triggered national outrage. In the southwest, many indigenous Lagosians and Yoruba stakeholders see the no man's land label as an affront, an erasure of historical identity and cultural ownership. In the north, the backlash is even more potent. A detailed investigation by the media has uncovered that the administration's own infrastructure report, branded Infrastructure Equity for every region, was riddled with inconsistencies. Projects in the northeast and north central were falsely listed under the northwest and in some cases listed twice under multiple regions. Roads in Borno, Yobe, and Kogi were misattributed, raising suspicions of deliberate data manipulation to inflate regional figures. The revelations come just months after Senator Ali Ndume accused the president of breaching the federal character principle, pointing to a pattern of appointments and allocations heavily skewed towards the southwest. While the presidency insists these decisions are based on merit, integrity, and capacity, the optics tell a different story, one of deepening regional imbalance, broken political trust, and a growing divide between the promises of equity and the reality on the ground. The political implications are serious, with northern communities and leaders already feeling sidelined and Yoruba indigenes of Lagos rejecting the no man's land label. The Tinubu administration may be walking a thin line between development and division. And that's why today I'm delighted to be joined by two esteemed guests here in the studio. We have Dr. Peter Anosike. Dr. Anosike is a philosopher, development economist, and best-selling author. He is also an erudite commentator on economy, finance, politics, and power. Great to have you join us.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. And joining us virtually is Adekule Adefolaon, a public affairs analyst as well. It's great to have you join us on the issues. All right. We understand it's not here with us, but let's start with Dr. Peter Anosike, who has no love lost between him and Daniel Bwala. But Bwala is in the news, I don't know, for the wrong reasons again. He defends the 2.9 trillion naira Lagos allocation by calling it Nigeria's commercial nerve center. But how do you justify this level of federal investment in one state when other regions like the Northeast still lack basic infrastructure?
Well, you say that I don't have
There's no love lost yet.
because of his character, because of his inconsistencies. That's to start with. The idea of Lagos being a no man's land, I don't agree with it. Understand? Because the first federal capital of Nigeria was Calabar.
Yes.
And we never heard that Calabar is a no man's land.
Yeah.
Even though it was a federal capital, though during the colonial days.
Yes.
But so the idea, Lagos is owned by some people. It didn't fall from the sky. It did not fall from the sky. It is owned by some people, just like Abuja now, which is the current federal capital territory, has the indigenes.
Yeah.
So the notion that Lagos is a no man's land, and I don't agree with it. But for lack of character, for lack of integrity, Daniel Bawanda would defend the indefensible. So that's why I don't agree with him. But even talking about federal character, it has never been practiced since 1999. Each zone that produces or the president sees this as an opportunity to cut their own lion's share of the national cake. Obasanjo did it under his time, and Buhari improved on it. Then Tinubu now take it
To the next level.
to the next level. So what Tinubu is doing now is what he copied from
Buhari.
Buhari, because nepotism is corruption. Nepotism is corruption, and Tinubu is practicing nepotism. Then, practicing mediocrity instead of meritocracy, it is also an act of corruption. And this is what Tinubu is also practicing. So there's no justification for budgeting or spending a whooping 2.9 trillion in a single state, why there are 36 states in the country. So there's no justification, even if you are talking about population.
Okay.
According to 2006 census, which is the data we are still using up to today, Kanu is more populated than Lagos State. So if you are saying that it's because of the human index, Kanu deserve more. Kanu deserve more than Lagos because officially they have more population than Lagos State until the next census is conducted.
Okay.
So, but Bawanda can defend the indefensible just because of the crumbs that are falling from the president's table.
All right, let me go over to Adefola, who understands is now with us. And great to have you join us on the issues. We're just talking about the situation of Dan Ibuela's comments and looking at the project that was presented by the presidency to Nigerians as what they've been doing so far in terms of infrastructure. And we want to look at the project quietly and quickly, I beg your pardon. Great to have you join us, Adefola. You're welcome to the issues.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to finally join.
Okay. Okay. Let me look at this. Let me ask you this: if projects meant for the Northeast and North Central were falsely listed under the Northwest in the Tinubu infrastructure report, is this incompetence, data manipulation, or a deliberate attempt to mislead the public on regional equity?
Thank you very much. I think I will agree that it is incompetence. And it's not only in the
We can hear you. Are you still with us?
situation.
Okay.
I'm with you. I don't know if you can hear me well.
Yes, go ahead.
I said it is fully incompetence by the handlers of Mr. President. And this is not the first time. And it's not only in the project allocation. Is it not embarrassing that the presidency announced the name of new DG for NTA, an executive director, and the person resumed duty, had meeting with senior management, and after 3-4 days, such appointment was reversed, and the initial occupier was recalled. And that made third time that Mr. President Handler, we made such blunders. That is the best name to call it, blunders, on behalf of the whole nation. So I think it shows how incompetent people that are working with him, which is very unfortunate. It is over 2 years now. Mr. President has not found it worthy to reshuffle his cabinet, because what he did last time was just a caricature. So it shows people that are working with him, they are all incompetent. And we can see it from what the output they are giving us as a nation. If Mr. President will come out on national TV and said there's no more corruption in Nigeria, and he expects us to believe that investors are encouraged to come to Nigeria. There's no more corruption in Nigeria. So to let you know that we are in problem in this country, and I encourage Nigerians to be prepared against 2027 and be careful the way we vote in 2027, because if you look at what they are doing in the presidency, where some names will be rolled out after a few times. It happened to a minister during the ministerial screening. A minister came all the way from Kano. On getting to National Assembly, they said her name has been replaced. So you can imagine that. And there was another appointment that they announced after they said it was a mistake. So inserting budget of Northwest, Northeast, and North Central in the Northwest, I don't want to believe it's a mistake. It shows how incompetent they are. Even if you want to do copy and paste on your document, you should take time to do it, especially on document that you know is going to go beyond within the villa. So very unfortunate we find ourselves in this type of mess that we are currently.
Yeah.
So I see it as incompetent.
How come the president surrounds himself with people who doesn't pay attention to details that are very crucial and important as much as what goes out there? Because this was an official handle. Yeah.
Because, we have politicized every appointment. We have politicized every appointment. The office of chief of staff is not meant for politicians. It's meant for technocrats that understand issue, that can engage at international level, engage diplomatically. But look at what we have as chief of staff currently in Nigeria. We don't even know deputy chief of staff. We don't know his pedigree. To let you know that they just pack unqualified people for chief of staff, supposed to be think tank for government, for the villa. But unfortunately, look at what we have there. Every time you see Badabi Amila on TV competing to sit on the seat, make available for minister or other personnel of government, you will see him dragging tables and chairs with political appointee like him. Very unfortunate. If you look at office of chief of staff under Jonathan, even Buhari, Malakiari was sound. He may have other shortcomings. The same thing with Gambari. When Gambari was there, the little period that he used, a chief of staff supposed to be think tank for government, that we engage in strategic discussion, not a snappy picture, carrying a agbada up and down. That is not the role of chief of staff. Chief of staff is to coordinate strategic engagement around policy direction of government, work closely with other government officials. But they have turned it to child play, bringing, whether you have the capacity to deliver in the name of political compensation, they are just bringing anybody to come and hold position. Look at Minister of Men Affairs. Do you think she deserves to be in that position? That is the ministry that's supposed to be coordinating with other development partners on how we will be talking about gender and inclusion in this country. They are busy snapping picture, going to New York, preparing to go to New York for Jamboree. For Jamboree, when other countries will be engaging on developmental issues. But you will see our own ministers, by next week now, they'll be going to New York for hunger. You will see them go there and go and be buying materials, go and be buying things in US. They will not even attend side events. They will not attend General Assembly and pick something out, engage bilaterally with other countries and do what is going to pay the country. Rather, we are going to waste the resources to go to Manhattan in New York and go and be wasting our resources just like that.
Wow. Okay, let me go to Dr. Anosike here. How do you think the northern Nigeria is going to react? Talking about the communities, especially those in conflict, heat, and underdeveloped areas. How would they interpret this kind of uneven project distribution?
For me, what happened in that allocation was not a mark of incompetence. It is criminality. It is deliberate. It is, Northwest has 7 states. Understand? So that's where all the population is. So it just that to give impression we are favoring Northwest. Understand?
Whereas that's not the case.
Well, that's not the case. So it is not incompetent. This is criminality. This is smartness.
Trying to play smart.
Yes,
Being
understand?
the intelligence of the Northwest.
Sure. That is to deceive them. Understand? That they are favoring Northwest.
And how has that gone so far?
Well, it has backfired because one, fact does not care what anybody feels or what anybody thinks. Fact is fact. What is there is out there, whether you like it or not. So it is out there. So there's no way you can do your deep fake. You can do your AI generated infrastructure, but when it is not there, it is not there. So this portrays Tinubu's government as a government of deception. It portrays the government as a government of deception, trying to play one geopolitical zone against the other. Understand? So now, Northwest, people from the Northwest can now be thinking that those projects are supposed to be in their area, but it was wrongly cited. Do you see what is happening now?
Yes.
That in the book, that these projects are supposed to be in the Northwest. Why is it now in the Northeast? Maybe somebody like Shetima used his position, or Nuhu Rebadu used his position and took the projects that are supposed to be in the Northwest to their own Northeast. So this is a game. This is criminality in action. It wasn't an act of incompetence.
Wow.
But the truth is that the North has already annihilated. Understand? They are already united. This thing doesn't start today. They have even seen that this government, which they brought into power, is not that they're not getting what they are supposed to get, even though it is that entitlement mentality. So they feel because it is them that made Tinubu president.
Right.
Tinubu scored only 25% in his own southwest, and scored a 65 in the north. So if not because of the northern votes, he would not have get the votes that they used to declare him president.
That means it's not paying back for their loyalty and the vote.
So that is, and everybody there is complaining, or the Sultan, that the Sultan is complaining. Everybody in the north, except the sycophants, understand? So they are not happy, or they are not happy. And when you tell the people that they're not supposed to feel the way they are feeling, they will react.
All right, let me go to Adefola on there. What message does the phrase Lagos is no man's land send to indigents of Lagos and Yoruba stakeholders across the Southwest? Would this be seen as erasing the identity of a host community in the name of development, according to Daniel Buala?
I think that is a wrong statement, calling a particular and saying that. I think we are trying to bring unrest, because I see it as a slap on Lagosians, telling them that their town is no man's land. And when I joined you, I had Dr. Anosike talking about nobody fall from heaven. People must belong to a particular place as far as Nigeria is concerned. We have the same issue recently in Abuja, in FCT. Most of their lands have been used for development, and some group of people comes together and call themselves FCT original inhabitants of FCT. And government recognized them, and for the first time in the history of FCT, they were given member of Federal Executive Council. It is under this administration that FCT had the opportunity of having minister who happened to be their indigene, and also they had a mandate secretary. A mandate secretary is the equivalent of commissioner at state level. So it has never happened in the history of FCT whereby they have indigene of FCT that is a member of Federal Executive Council. So saying Lagos is no man's land, I don't think is appropriate. Will Barrister Bwala be happy if they call his hometown Biu no man's land? How will Baburde feel, or the Marigis, how will they feel if they call the southern part of Borno State, where he comes from, no man's land? How will they feel culturally? How will they feel? So I think calling a particular place no man's land, I don't think is ideal. And like I said, we have politicized a lot of things in this country in the name of politics. We use different terms because we want to win election by all means. That Lagos is diversified with different group of people from different places doesn't make Lagos no man's land. If it is no man's land, they won't have Oba of Lagos. They won't have Olorile Agege of Orile Agege. They won't have other Oba that they have in Lagos State. There is Akran of Badagry in Lagos State, and they have other Obas across the Lagos State. There's Oba in Ikorodu. So how will you call a place where they have cultural heritage, you call it a no man's land? It means anybody can come to Lagos to come and become Oba of Lagos, or can I go to Biu, where he comes from, and become the Emir of Biu? So I think we should stop playing politics in that direction. If you say there is diversity in Lagos, I think it's better, because Lagos have different types, and just like in Kano, just like we have no man's land street in Kano. If you go to Sabongeri in Kano, but that doesn't mean the Bayeros, we agree with you that Kano is no man's land. And they refer to that place no man's land because it's majorly people that are staying there are Christians. And anything you want to do there, you can do it freely without having any issue around religious sentiment or what have you. But that doesn't mean it's not part of Kano State. It's part of Kano City. If you go to Sabongeri in Kano. So, and it's a street. So no man's land street within the Sabongeri in Kano. But they didn't say Kano is no man's land. But we have variety of people in Kano too. So if they call Bill, where he comes from, no man's land, will he be happy?
All right. Okay. Okay. Dr. Anosike wants to add to that.
I want to add that to what he is saying. That's in America, we have York before New York. Understand? We have Jersey before New Jersey. And these are developments. Understand? These are developments. So it doesn't mean that there are no people from New York. Understand? It doesn't mean that there are no people from New Jersey. There are natural inhabitants of those areas before development now come. So you cannot say because it's no more York, it's now New York, nobody is from New York. No, people are from New York. People are from New Jersey. Understand? People are already living there before development come there. As I said, Calabar was the first federal capital of Nigeria. Before it now moved to the southwest.
Okay.
We never heard that Calabar is a no man's land, because people were already living there before it was called, it was made the federal capital territory. So when a city becomes a federal capital territory, you don't throw away the original inhabitants.
Okay.
Understand? So that's why I tell you that Bawanda can defend the indefensible because of stomach infrastructure.
Okay, does violence justification not open a
There's
dangerous...
no justification.
Does it really open a dangerous precedent where commercial relevance becomes the sole determinant of federal investments at the expense of national cohesion?
As he is trying to defend, what the argument here is that Tinubu is building Nigeria, and at Lagos everybody is here, everybody is a citizen, everybody is an indigene. Therefore, even if you put a 50 trillion naira project in Lagos, it is justified. So that you cannot say that this is a ethnic bias. But it doesn't hold water. Before all the white men came, people are living in Lagos. Before Lagos was made federal capital territory, people were living here. Then where would you? So his argument is wrong, but it is expected. It is expected. And that's what Nai Mohammed would have also done in his time.
All right, before we leave this conversation, let me take this to Aide Folarin. Given this growing perception of Southern favoritism in projects and appointment under Tinubu, how can this government maintain credibility with Northern power blocks who were instrumental to his victory?
Yeah, I think that credibility will be very difficult before average Nigerians, because if you look at what this administration is doing, we thought what Buhari government did would be changed would be normalized, but unfortunately, what we are seeing is issue of credibility to this government in terms of appointment or project. It will be very difficult for average Nigerians to believe in whatever they want to do. And let me also give you this example. If you look at agency of government mandated with responsibility to check the federal character principle, unfortunately, the correct acting chairman is from Ogun State. Former honorable member representing Ipokia, Yewa North Federal Constituency, Honorable Oladele. And you realize that he was put there intentionally because substantive chairman was appointed last month and it was reversed. It was reversed. And that is part of the strategy this government is trying to put in place to make sure that a particular zone is favored than other. And I don't think it's the best for us if we continue doing like this. Remember in one of our discussions on this platform, I mentioned the same thing. What makes this government to give Ogun State 3 ministers and other states are 1-1? So when we are talking about what's special in Ogun State, I'm from Ogun State, but what's special in Ogun State for Ogun State to have 3 ministers, and not just ordinary ministers in Jewish ministry. Minister of State for Health is from Ogun State, from Yewa North local government. Minister of Finance, coordinating Minister of Economy is from Abeokuta South local government. Minister of Digital Economy is from Abeokuta South local government. Now, if you look at that combination, what happened to other zone if at all you want to give 3 ministers to a state, which first of all is even violation of the constitution? Constitution say each state should have
1
members of the executive council, but a state was given 3. Ogun State is 3 or 4 ministers. So when you are talking about credibility before state from southeast, that hardly they gave them that 1 ministerial slot that constitution provided, and a state from Ogun State with 20 local government is having 3 ministerial slots. So is that not cheating on other states? Kano is having 2. We have other states with 2 like that. That is cheating. So, and we said we want to reduce cost of governance, and you are appointing 3 ministers from a state that we have about 4 or 5 vehicles that will be on their when they are going out. And how do you want to cost governance? Each minister will have SA, the SA will have PA, they will have SA, like that. So issue of credibility to me for this administration, I think if we should carry out a survey today, to be very low. Look at what is happening in Central Bank. Look at what is happening in NNPC Limited. Like that, look at what is happening in FIRS. So if you look at the kind of, even within the Southwest, if you look at people they are appointing, they are from selected states in Southwest. It's either from Lagos, Ogun, or Ekiti. Those are the 3 states this administration is favoring in the Southwest. What happened to Ondo State? What happened to Oyo State? What happened to Osun State? So if you see any appointment from Osun State, it must be very sensitive. But Ekiti, Lagos, and Ogun, they are so favored in Southwest, and I don't understand the logic behind it. So very unfortunate that we are experiencing this in 21st century in Nigeria, where we have abandoned competence in appointing people. Look at what happened in NTA last week. Is that not an embarrassment? It's an embarrassment. Somebody resumed office, address management, 3 or 2 days after, you reversed the appointment. You said Demba should go back, director of news should go back, director of marketing should go, executive director of marketing should go back. Is that not an embarrassment to this country? And look at the people that are doing it, that are handling him. They should go and sit down and readjust. There is a unit within the presidency called where Adiza is heading, special advisor to the president on performance and evaluation and what have you. What have they evaluated over 2 years? We have ministers that hardly Nigerians even know their name, and they are collecting salary, public resources. We can't see the impact of what they are doing. We have about 48 ministers. Out of 48, hardly you can mention 10 that are working in Nigeria. By the time you count 5 or 6, you'll be scouting for the remaining one. In a nation where we have 48 ministers. It is unfortunate. So issue of credibility, it is 0, because Nigerians are not feeling it. Look, by 2026 now, we start from January 2nd now, the new tax reform implementation will come on board. Nigerians will continue suffering, paying tax in the name of generating revenue that some people will siphon and pack for election. So credibility to me is 0.
All right. Let me go to the next conversation, where President Bola Tinubu has declared that his administration's bold economic reforms are stabilizing Nigeria's economy and restoring its global respect. And of course, speaking during a meeting with the son of Ogbomoso land, Oba Gandhi Olaye, and other monarchs at the State House of Abuja, Tinubu said the country is no longer bleeding from years of corruption, fake records, and smuggling, noting that the economy is now attracting international interest. He highlighted key reforms, including foreign exchange policies, removal of fuel subsidy, and the creation of the Nigeria Education Loan Fund, stressing that no student should be denied education because of poverty. Tinubu added that his administration is also aggressively pursuing infrastructure projects and agricultural self-sufficiency within just 2 years in office. And of course, the monarch commended the president's bold decisions, particularly the dualization of the Oyo-Ogbomoso Road and education reforms, which he said are already benefiting Nigerians. Yeah, I want to stop there because it's a lot. But Dr. Nasige, the man is singing his praises, or the street is saying something different. Because
he will go back with a large envelope, period.
You're talking about the Oba himself.
They will go back with a large envelopes, understand? So, government is about other people. Government is about other people. The only way to measure a government that is doing well is the quality of life of the people. And not foreign reserve is increasing, GDP is increasing. Those things doesn't affect a common man on the street. Understand? those things does not impact on the life of a common man. He is stabilizing the economy. What is the cost of food in the market? The cheapest bag of rice today sells at 80,000 naira. The cheapest. Minimum wage, which most of the states are not even paying, is 70,000, which means minimum wage cannot buy the cheapest rice in the market. A minimum wage, assuming that it is even paid today, 70,000 naira, cannot buy a bag of rice in the market. That's what somebody toiled from the first day of the month to the 30th of the month, cannot afford a bag of rice. Then how has CM stabilized the economy? Bayo Nonoga, who issued that statement, said that foreign exchange has also stabilized at 101,500. And this is what you inherited at 400. And you take it up to 1,900. And it's now 1,500. You are beating your chest that you are doing well. That is 3 times more than what you inherited. Then investors' confidence. I keep on saying it is only Chinese, Lebanese, and the Indians that will come to do business in Nigeria. Because these are crooked businessmen. These are crooked businessmen. Nobody from the Western world will come and do business in a country where there's where the judiciary has been compromised. Because when something happens and you go there to court, you cannot get redress. Then the investors' confidence. In 2024, we got $1.8 billion as FDI, foreign direct investment. $1.8 billion. Kenya got more than $44 billion. Kenya. Egypt got about 40-something billion. On the list of FDI in Africa, Nigeria is number 19. Other countries are not, those who are from 1 to 18 are not making noise. And even to get this 1.8 billion, the presidency used more than $5 billion junketing the world. Because whenever the president moves, billions of naira moves. Understand me? Because the presidential jet must be fueled. There must be hotel and accommodation for him and his entourage. There must be Esther code. At the end of the day, what is Nigeria benefiting? What is Nigeria benefiting? So you spend 5,000 to get 1,000. You are calling yourself a genuine businessman.
You say that it's not generating a lot of interest internationally on Nigeria.
How many of them are coming?
Brazil has created a route. Nigeria cannot fly directly to Brazil. That's what they said.
Go to the airport. How many plane comes to Nigeria on a daily basis? Understand me? You can see that it is here that they carry passengers and go. They come back empty. Go to the airport. They come back empty. It is here that they steal our money, go there that to spend. So, where he is, how many investors are coming to Nigeria?
All right, let me go to Saturday Fallout. All right, we have a caller, we understand. You're welcome to the issues.
Hello, good evening, sir. My name is Aide, calling from Lagos. I will partially agree with your analysis. He's on point. I'll partially do. Why will I partially agree with him? The first question I want to ask is Tinubu to blame? Is President Tinubu to blame for all the woes of the Nigerian economy as of today? That is the first question. And let me give you an indirect answer. Governor Oti of Abia State, Governor Mba of Enugu State. I want us to replicate these governors mentally. Just play a game. Let's replicate these two governors as 30 state governors out of the 36 governors. I want you to see the phantom of development that will roll into this country within the shortest possible time. So, if we are blaming the president, yes, he has his blame, but the governors still have their responsibilities. The other day, I read of a governor spending 20 million naira per local government to repair cemeteries. My God, that was the height of all insults. So the living have no bearing. It is now the dead. It's laughable in this country. And as long as this country remains that every month governors will come to the federal and collect money without accountability, I tell you, even in a lifetime, we will head nowhere. Until this matter is addressed, accountability is addressed, I tell you, Nigeria will head nowhere. Even if P2B comes to bear, and this method still remains, Nigeria will not come to bear. So please, yes, Tinubu has his faults, but the governors also should take responsibilities of development in their various states. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Thank you very much. Okay, Dr. Onoski, you want to
The issue we are addressing is what Tinubu said. Understand me? So we are not talking about governors. It is what Tinubu said.
The self-appraisal.
Yes, sure. I cannot begin to talk about governors. Why no governor was mentioned that's in your question.
All right, Adefola, you want to say something?
I was about talking when the call entered, so I didn't understand. I didn't hear the question of the caller.
Okay, I think the caller was, he asked the question and someone answered it, throwing the blames as well to the governors who were not doing anything. But what happened to the governors? Because in time past, we saw governors competing in terms of projects, trying to outmatch the order. But now the governors have suddenly gone to sleep. It's now more like going to Abuja, get your money, enjoy yourself. The country is not doing well. The economy is poor. So everybody has now remained docile. And it looks like nothing is happening.
Okay, yes, I think, it may be an unexpected outcome from our initial discussion. But the fact remains that, like I said, we have politicized everything in this country. And the intention of Nigerian Governors Forum has been defeated by the current governors across the 36 states. Initially, when Governors Forum was established, it was meant to serve as peer review so that we can learn, the governors can learn from other side and see what others are doing well, how are they doing it. And I was reviewing a document yesterday. Many state governors have not accessed UBEC Matching Grant Fund. You know, the way UBEC was structured, Universal Basic Education Commission, the state Universal Basic Education, it is expected that each state will come to federal with 50%, the federal government will add 50% to it. Many states in Nigeria, since 2021 to date, have not accessed UBEC fund because the governor refused to bring their own 50% matching grant. So, very unfortunate, this administration, after removing subsidy and now give governors enough resources, unfortunately, they are not using it for the benefit of Nigerians. And I think it's another issue completely for another day. But based on what Mr. President said that more there will be direct flights from Nigeria to Brazil, is that what we should be happy about? Is that what we should be? How many, like Dr. Nosike said, how many come from that end to Nigeria? We should be ashamed that Rwanda is flying to Nigeria 3 times in a week, to Abuja 3 times in a week from Lagos. If you want to go to Kigali today from Abuja, you will fly from Abuja to Kigali with stopover in Accra. Rwanda here is having a business discussion with Qatar Airways. If you want to go to Qatar or you want to go to US, you can fly Rwanda here from here, and it will take you to Doha. Then you pick Qatar Airways from Doha to your final destination. Is that not what we should be thinking about? But now there will be direct flight from Nigeria to Brazil under 6 or 7 hours. Is that what should be jumping up for from a president that understands what he's doing? Very unfortunate. Talking about stability, what's stable? How many Nigerians they can come out and say my life has changed from 2023 in 2023 and now? You can't see any, even among the so-called politicians, because the amount of money you are spending now is not the same.
Okay.
We are exchanging Nigerian money to dollar at rate of 150. Today was 1,555 at black market. If you go to banks, how many banks are ready to give you? They are just deceiving us.
All right.
People go to black market, go and buy dollars, pounds, and euro. Go to your bank, they will tell you can only access $5,000 in a quarter. In a quarter, then you will not get it at once. For you to get it, you must bring your ticket, you bring your passport, you bring your visa. So instead of you to go and be wasting your time in banks, won't you go to the roadside to go and buy what you need?
All right, we'll have to wrap it up here. And of course, I want to say big thanks I did for I must say I was enjoying your conversation and didn't want to even let go, but we just have to anchor the program here. Thank you very much. All right, Dr. Anosige as well. It's been a pleasure having you inside.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, and that will be all on the issues for today as Nigerians' political space heats up and citizens mobilize towards 2027. The questions remain: who will shape the future and how will the nation respond to the challenges ahead? Join us next time as we continue to interrogate the matters that define our collective destiny. I am Jerry Ampelihai. This has been the Issues on Voice of the People television, where the future faces forward. Have a good one.